Hello, hi, Debbie here. I promised that I would do this, that I would do a channeling session today of Mazena. So I've come along to do that. I've got the lovely James here who's going to ask me some questions. A couple that we got from YouTube, one from Facebook, and a couple of others that were sent in. So I'm going to do my best to get Mazena to give the best that she can. What I would ask you to do is, it takes me a minute, I need to close my eyes for a moment to get into the channeling state. So maybe it's a good time also for you to close your eyes and just feel into what's coming through to the energy. You'll be able to feel into the energy and know if this is for you or not. Okay, so bear with me. I'm going to close my eyes. I'll be quiet for a moment and then we'll be there. I am Mazena, and I am here today to answer the questions that you may wish to put to me. I would like to thank the people who have come forth with the questions. Debbie wanted to stretch herself, so we'll feel into the questions and we will answer. When I say we, perhaps it is confusing because I give the name of Mazena, the mermaid being, but I also tap into the consciousness of the Mer people and the land of Mu where I resided. Where I dip my tail into the water and connect to the rest of the consciousness there. So it is as a collective. And these answers are brought to you today. Thank you.
Okay, hello Mazena.
Hello. Thank you, James, for coming today.
So we have a few questions. First one will be from Cheryl.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a question I think a lot of people are asking at the moment. Why do the energies feel so heavy and dense lately? They seem stuck like glue. What can we do to feel lighter?
Yes, it is a difficult time. At these times, the energies are quite turbulent. There's a lot happening behind the scenes. There is a lot happening everywhere, really, in this reality, in the other, what you would call dimensions. There is so much going on. And it, of course, affects everybody here on this earth. It is something that is clearing. There is a lot of energies being cleared. There is a lot of things coming up for people to bypass, for people to experience, and each experience is deeper into a purification which eventually helps you to find your true self. This is not something that is easy because a lot of the time people are facing things that they are unsure of. They are finding things that come up and change their belief systems. And all of this is not an easy task for all to take on board. I would say to make it lighter is to try not to delve too much into what you're seeing in your outside world, to go within to where the true you, divine you resides. And in that space, in the calmness and the quietness, you will find that it is easier to deal with what is happening outside of yourself. So to try and spend a little time in that place, try not to watch too much on your TVs and your social media. There is some very good information on your social media, and you will find that what you come across are the things that you have planted there for yourself. They are things that you see which will help to reawaken the parts in you that know exactly what is going on. So the more you delve into yourself and spend time in silence and also in nature, nature holds a lot of codes. Nature is a place where you can release also a lot of your anxiety, a lot of the pressures, a lot of the energies that you may be carrying that you do not need to. So what I suggest is also to go out into nature. If you can be barefoot, it is good to release that energy back into the earth. That is like a gift to the earth. It is recycled and reused, and you are releasing what it is that you don't need. So this is something that will assist you. Thank you so much for that question.
Okay, thank you. Next question is from Aoife, and she wants to know, many people are happy and hopeful about the future and have done a lot of work on themselves these last few years. But many people aren't and are dealing with death, grief, financial worries, etc. How do we best help these people now and in the next few months or years in this transition phase?
Yes, indeed, there is a lot going on, and many have done work, as we say, on themselves. Even when people do this work, they will find that they will fluctuate in between the ups and the downs. So even those who have worked extensively on themselves will still hit pockets of little bits of turbulence. And if you can spend time to look within also and see what turbulence is in there that needs to be removed, the more work that you do on yourself, this is the work that reflects on the outside, and then you will see the people on the outside, they're also playing roles for you. So they're playing roles in which you feel you need to help. And it is nice to help people when they request the help. It's an experience for you, but it is also an experience that they need to go through themselves, because they need to experience all that is going on and all that they see outside of themselves to begin to be able to go inside of themselves. So the best way that you can help these people is to be an example. And when I say an example, you don't need to speak to them even to explain how they need to progress forward. The best example is to just hold that higher frequency, hold the frequency, hold the light And the more you do this, this assists the people on the outside, because you then become like a tuning fork, and that tuning fork, the ring, the frequency from that tuning fork extends and reaches out, and it is with that where the frequencies begin to balance, and they will start to be on a similar frequency. They don't necessarily need to be fixed. Nobody needs to be fixed. They just need to experience what it is that they are experiencing to get themselves to the position that perhaps you are in. You will know yourself that in order to get to the space that you are in, you had to experience upheaval and things that you may have found painful or pressured, or the experiences that we need to experience in order to start to work on ourselves. So it is easier to be an example than to try and explain this to people. Everybody will eventually get to the stage where they will work on themselves. And many people indeed are working on themselves, but not discussing this with others. It is something that they feel they're not sure they can speak about to others. So if you want to help, just be that approachable person, hold that frequency, and you will draw the people to you that need to be in your frequency, and you can be the tuning fork that they need you to be. And also continue working on yourself, because the more we work on ourselves, the more we hold the light and the frequency for others to be able to do that for themselves. Thank you.
Okay. So the next 3 questions are actually from me. And I'd like to know, recently or during the week, me and Debbie were out walking and we found what we were certain it was a portal, because we both felt exactly the same energy inside, and there were also physical signs. So I'd like to know if you can tell us a bit more about that. What, why, who?
I'm feeling into the energy of the portal. And yes, indeed, it was a portal. It is a portal, though, that you would have created for yourselves. You would have done this in another time and another space, and got it to hold the energy that you needed to hold in this lifetime to be able to move forward. It definitely was a portal. I'm just feeling into the energy in a way. I'm feeling you both surrendered to this portal. You both trusted the portal. You were able to feel into the energy, and you felt that the energy was indeed a good energy. And that is because you built it for yourself. There are many portals that do not even look like portals, places in nature, and you will always stumble upon them when the time is right. So you would have used that portal because you felt yourself a little stuck in the situation or the place that you feel that you are in. I'm not talking about a physical place. I'm talking about the space, the time-space coordinate that you are residing in. So you have made that a portal that particular portal available for yourselves. It is something you both decided to do in another lifetime. It will help to propel you forward. But what you need to understand is that sometimes to propel yourself forward, like a rubber band, sometimes it pulls you back. And you may have felt yourself being pulled back into the portal. And that is preparing you for the journey that you will take from here on forward. And it is being represented in your lifetime at this moment where you feel you are being held back, you are feeling stagnant, you are feeling the energy of not propelling yourself forward. But it is just the pullback. And in time, quite soon, you will propel yourself forward. And that goes for both of you in the portal. You both, although were in the same portal, it wasn't exactly the same energy for each. Each has their own blueprint and their own map of where they're going forward. It doesn't mean that you are going different places. It just may mean that it is quite separate, the energy. Although it was a similar energy, each person has their intention of how they see the future. And it is pulling you back, and it will propel you into that future. I hope that helps.
Okay, thank you. Okay, a few days back, I was staying with Debbie, and during the night, we both had a dream. And we had the dream the same night, same time, probably. Not a dream that we've ever had before. Can you explain more about this? Why we would have exactly the same dream at the same time?
Yes, indeed. The reason you would have it was a very similar dream, is because when in your sleep time you are working in other realms, it is trying to bring back the idea of what work that you were doing. And some of the work that you do in other realms are really difficult to understand in this realm. So it just came back in a way that is easier for you to understand. It's not so much easy to understand exactly what you were doing in the other realms, but it had you question that you are in the other realms together. You are working on similar projects. You are working on similar projects in other realities. And it is just bringing back, it is allowing you both to understand that you are working together. You could have had those dreams and not discussed them, and neither would be any the wiser. But the fact that you discussed your dreams and you found that you both had the same dream started to get you to question what it is, why it is. You have used a program which you programmed the dream into in this reality, and you got an answer back. But that is, I'm talking about a ChatGPT. The answers that you got there, yes, it is good, and it's explaining on a psychological level, but on a higher level, there was much bigger things happening. But it was about bringing people together. It was about the community that you are creating in another world. It is about all of the things that are you doing together. Sorry, I'm just feeling more into the energy. It's building a place that is beyond this reality. You are getting everything into preparation for the move. Now, the move is not to another place. The move is for the expansion of your consciousness, and the expansion of your consciousness will propel you into this more beautiful world. Things will be so much more exciting for you. Things will be so much easier for you, and you will see that you can rest more. There will be not the need to run around like how you have been in the past. It is somewhere, that's why it was the image of a bed, because that is a place where you rest. So it was showing you that there will be more rest in the future. It was showing you also community, and the beautiful community that you are building. It is going to be spectacular, and in the future you will dream a little bit more of what is actually happening in that reality, the reality that you will find yourself in the future. But now it was just trying to let you see that you were working on this together.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I've just got one more question. And that is, I understand that I have hybrid children. I just wondered if it's possible you could tell us about that.
Yes, you most definitely do have hybrid children. That those children are not, it's not what everybody would expect, that that it is a physical part of you in this child. It is more to do with the consciousness, your consciousness, part of your DNA. We are all made of many different aspects of DNA from other realities and other places, and these hybrid children are a little the same, but it is more so that they are your part of your consciousness. And this is also what you work with in your sleep time. You work with these children. I know you have no earth children, but you do work with these children in another time-space coordinate when you are in your sleep time. You are learning from the children, but they are also learning from you. So they are learning more about the earth and how things work here, and they are teaching you more about where they are from. They are trying to help you with ideas, with things that you can do in the future. You have one in particular that I'm seeing 4, but there's one in particular that visits. It doesn't come in a physical form. It is more in, again, in consciousness. It visits you, and there are times when you see your cat look into a space, or you feel there's an energetic presence somewhere else. That is your hybrid child. And they're not trying to scare you. They're not trying to, they're just letting you know that they are around. They don't particularly need you to do anything. They just want you to know that they are there. They are also letting you know that they are there, that you can tap into the what they know. And basically what they have tapped in from you is all the lifetimes that you have experienced in this world and in other worlds and other realms. They all of those lifetimes are connected to one oversoul. And then the hybrid children are tapped into the oversoul. So you are feeding a lot of the information from lots of the lifetimes that you have experienced to the hybrid children. And that is how they are learning about the earth. And in a way, in a time, it's not so much that the hybrid child is going to come and live on this earth as a physical being. It is more that they can live on this earth as a consciousness. And that is a consciousness that we can all tap into. And these hybrid children are there, and after they have tapped into all of our lifetimes and all of the things that are being experienced on this earth and in other planets and in other places, they hold the information, which is part of the information that our oversoul holds on to. Our oversoul is there for all of this, but it is like they are a part on the top of that are absorbing all of this information, and it is information that you will feed into in the future yourself, because you are not aware at this time of all the lifetimes that you have lived. So they are learning about that through you, through your oversoul, and in time you will be able to help with the tuning into the consciousness of that, and you will have more experience then of what you have experienced on earth and what is possible to experience in higher realms. Again, higher realms not being really another place, being more another frequency, a frequency that you will, again, like a tuning fork, your energy, your frequency will raise, and it will attach to the frequency, the higher frequencies in the consciousness of those who have a higher consciousness. And you will be aware of a lot more that is going on this earth and in other realms. But they are with you. Like I said, at this time there are 4, but the one in particular, which is a male, is the one that visits you more often. He's quite aware of your cats, and he actually spends a lot of time with them. When you're not there, they're able to tune in more. You may see the child in physical form, but not quite yet. I hope that helps.
Okay, I've got one more question.
Mm-hmm.
When my mother was staying with me and she was sleeping downstairs, she saw one night like an entity walking up the stairs to my bedroom, and she said it turned and looked at her. And I was kind of under the impression that that was actually my energetical body, if you like, returning to me. Could that have actually have been one of my hybrid children, as opposed to my own energetic body?
Just feeling into it, just one moment. It feels a little bit more like it was a bleed through from another experience. So you, although you are there where you live, we all have many versions of ourselves that at different times explores different realities. And at that time, because you were sleeping, yes, your consciousness left your body to explore other realms, other places, and it was in fact it returning. But instead of returning, normally it returns like from, it kind of like goes back into your body in that motion down. But at this time it wanted to explore. It wanted also to show your mother that it was okay for her to speak to you about what she's seeing, and you gave her the opportunity. Instead of coming straight back to your body from sleep time, you were giving your mother the opportunity to be able to speak to you about the energies and the shapes or the things that she sees. So the fact that it happened on that day while she was there, it shows that you were trying to help her from almost another realm that you had visited. And that's where, instead of going back into your body in the way that you would, you went up the stairs and did it in that way. And you were actually visiting your hybrid children at that time. So although it wasn't them, you were almost carrying the frequency of that with you. And that is perhaps why you were thinking it could be your hybrid children. So the energies were mixed because you had been there. So you were still carrying this higher frequency of an energy from your hybrid children, who helped you in a way to enter your body in that way, rather than the normal way in which you enter it from above. And let me see. Yes, it was to open the window for discussion between yourself and your mother about things that she has been wanting to talk about and has not really been able. And you did a very good job in reassuring her that everything was okay. It was part of your mission to do that, and it's now just to be able to hold that window open in case there are more questions. But you are learning many other things in your sleep time, and your experimentation of entering in that way was a way of also letting you know that you can travel almost anywhere. You can visit many, many places, and in a way, in the future, you will be able to do this at will when you choose to do so. It's not quite ready to happen now, but you are always held, you are always protected, and you are always loved, and you are always safe in these situations.
Okay, that sounds good fun. Mm-hmm. So that's all for today, Mazena.
Thank you. Just one moment.
Thank you for answering our questions for us.
More than welcome. I love to answer the questions. If at any other time people have questions, they may leave them, and when there are enough, we will give Debbie the nudge to come back and do this again. Thank you today, and thank you for all who are listening. If you have listened to this stage, to the end of this interaction, you know that you are definitely on the track to higher consciousness. Much love, and thank you so much for being here today. He tricked me. He didn't tell me those questions. I prefer not to know the questions, and it's really good that I didn't. So it's good. Even the questions that you guys sent in, I kind of did skim through them the day they were in, but I prefer not to know, because I don't really want my kind of like human mind to give the answers. So anyway, I hope you like that. Thank you very much for tuning in. Whoops, I'm making noise with the microphone. Thank you very much for tuning in. Much love. And if you do ever have questions in the future, pop them in the comments, and we will save them up and do it again perhaps in the future. Thank you very much. Feel free to like or comment. I'd love your comments. I always like to know what people think about these things, so they would be very much welcome. Thank you very much. And thank you, James. He's getting good at this. Thank you. Bye-bye.